Fall is in the air, and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. This will be taken in at the 1. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line.
Regular. 44 is the mic. 44 is the mic. Watch QB drop. 44 is the mic.
First and 10 for Dalton. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they got themselves a first down. One play has him to the 37 here for first and 10.
Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Motion. 44, Mike, 44. I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school. 44 is the Mike.
Regular. Go.
Now the young man who was a Pro Bowler as an undrafted rookie, it's Phillip Lindsay. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
40. Squeeze, double. Watch twin.
Heavy.
On second down, a run with Lindsay. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9, and it'll be back to a 3rd and 3. Well, we talked about Phillip Lindsay so much last year, but it bears repeating. Undrafted in 2018, the Broncos would sign him in May, and that was a good decision. He would have a 1,000-yard season, 9 touchdowns en route to a Pro Bowl appearance. So from undrafted to playing in the Pro Bowl in 10 months, that's pretty clean living for Phillip Lindsay.
Hey, Charlie. 44, Mike, 44. Coming. 44 is the mic. 44 is the mic. Hey, let's get up.
They look to throw on 3rd with Dalton. This one complete to the running back, Lindsay. A very solid gain of 27. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
This is Royce Freeman, second-year man from Oregon. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
65.
93, 52, 93, 44. There you go.
On second down, it's Lindsay. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
I don't think Dalton liked the matchup there. He's going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So that'll back him up 5. The delay of game, a costly one, as they're backed up 5 for first and goal.
Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball.
From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
So first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's second and goal. Now it's Lindsey. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Dalton. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback, because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
And that hits off the left upright, and it caroms away, no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that hollow metal sound is the bane of any kicker's existence, and here, that sound is going to keep our game scoreless.
And you could see him give that body English as the ball was in the air. Come on, baby, come on. But no dice that time.
They go with Leonard Fournette, third-year back from LSU. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Now Foles. And able to find Conley. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. We're scoreless after 1. The Jags with the football to begin the second quarter as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Go with 5-3! Go with 5-3!
Here's Foles. He's going to go deep for Conley. And that throw intercepted. It's Chris Harris, the Pro Bowl corner. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team, because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Here's Lindsey, and he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down.
What we got? Check 4, check 4.
Andy Dalton. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. On 1st down, right back to Lindsey. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Check, check. Stop your whining.
Play action now. Dalton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sacked by Yannick Ngakoue, the former Maryland Terp.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Here's Dalton. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll toss it to Fournette. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now Foles off the play fake to Fournette. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here. They'll go with a big bank, Fournette. Fournette, first down, still going. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Leonard Fournette, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Lambeau to add on the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Makes the score Jaguars 14, Broncos nothing. Josh Lambeau to kick off 4.
And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line.
Let's go. Let's do it.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. A give running right, Lindsey. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Philip Lindsey. His 2nd touchdown on the season as they are now on the board here in the first half. McManus's point after is good, and that'll make our score 14-7. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try it.
And that's caught inside the 30. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Foles. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
In this situation, it's really tough to figure out how to defend because they have plenty of room to still take deep shots at the end zone as they just did there. Yet at the same time, you've got to be ready for the short throw. In this case, when you see the cue that they're going for the end zone, retreat and make sure you have a way to play forward back towards the receiver.
And this is caught by Lee. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Marquise Lee. his first touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
That's it, baby. We gonna work.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
1st and 10.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
52, 93, 44, 44. Here you go.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Eluding the pressure right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
And now they're just looking to add to that total. They keep it with Fournette on 1st down. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Now back to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. 2nd and 10. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. DJ Chark, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away.
Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
A huge play there for Denver. 54 yards. The ultimate speedster, showing that speed at in front of this home crowd. They love it.
Made me stand up on that run because right now all I want to do is wave to the crowd. More noise, more noise. You got to reward him for that one. A big-time monster run.
44, 44, Mike, 44. Let's go, D. Let's go.
A first down throw coming for Dalton. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Give the sack there to Jake Ryan.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
On second down now, it's Lindsey. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on second and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
Third down, a shot here for Dalton. Gets it off to Freeman. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll bring up fourth down. And McManus able to put it through. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
Jaguars take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 16 yards that time on a pickup for the Jags and a first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll set up a throw. That one complete. He finds Sharp. And now a fumble. The ball's out. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
You remember me? You remember me? Let's go, baby. Check 26, check 26. Check, check.
Here you go, kick.
They'll go again with Lindsey. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll lead here to a third down.
Lead. Come on. Nice.
Switch it. Come on, switch it.
Dalton now to pass. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Allen in there to record the second sack of his young NFL career.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
You can't block me.
He'll drop to throw. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And all the way down to the 33-yard line. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. Officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19.
First down, Jaguars.
Welcome back now to Denver. It's Jaguar football here, and they'll look to extend their lead as we begin quarter number 4. Foles now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Over the middle, hauled in by Shark. Touchdown, Jaguars. DJ Chark, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Slam.
Here you go, 368.
Check 25.
Hey.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Pull it together.
A run with Lindsey out of the gun. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the past. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 4.
44 is Mike. Smooth. They can't hang with us.
Dalton here from the gun. Got a man that's complete to Hamilton. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Let's go.
At their own 19-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Well, this ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. A shotgun give to Fournette. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The All-Pro Von Miller there on the tackle.
And I think that's going to go down as no gain, but that doesn't seem fair for the effort that was presented on that play. That should go down as a loss. I know, I'm a defensive guy, but you got to like the play that was made.
He made a lot of those plays last week. He was AFC Defensive Player of the Week, picking up where he left off. Completes it to Lee. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. The 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Under 10. Under
93, 52, 93.
The drive will commence with a run by Lindsey. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The run defense, they have been porous at times today, but not that last go-around.
No, they really tightened it up, didn't they? They finally got themselves a win because all game long we've seen them get gashed. This time they played their responsibilities, played their keys, and made a nice stop.
That one good for 26 and a 1st down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
They're going to be stopped up on this 1st down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time. So make sure you get in shape.
Buzz.
Mike's Fofo.
Looking to throw on second down. Dalton. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Like a freight train off the edge, Calais Campbell with a sack. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Bravo. Let's make these babies cry.
Third and long. What will Dalton dial up? Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. The tackle made by Todd Davis. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Again, it's Fournette. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. It's Kareem Jackson making the play defensively.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And some room to maneuver. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. A big run by the big man Fournette. 41 yards.
A 41-yard gain. And the Jaguar.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. So this will be a win for Jacksonville. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.